Hi guys, and welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. If you enjoy this reading, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. That way you will be notified when I upload new videos. Now today I'll be doing an extended weekend reading, and this reading will be for the energies surrounding us for the weekend of Friday, October 27th through Sunday, October 29th, 2017. I will be pulling 3 cards from the Sun and Moon Tarot deck and 1 additional Oracle card from the Earth Magic Oracle card deck. I'd like to remind you again that these are general readings, so the reading may or may not resonate with you. If you would like a more personalized reading that focuses specifically on you, please feel free to contact me at the email listed in the description box in the About section of this channel, changingphasestarot@gmail.com. You can also take a look at my site. There you will find more information about the types of readings that I offer, as well as pricing. And the site is changingphasestarot.weebly.com. And feel free to join me on Facebook as well. And my page on Facebook is just Changing Phases Tarot Readings. All right, so let's get started with the energy for our Weekend Tarot Snapshot. So I will begin with the tarot cards. Spirit, what do we need to know for the weekend of Friday, October 27th through Sunday, October 29th? What are the energies surrounding the weekend? What do we need to know? Spirit, please give us some messages for the weekend of October 27th through October 29th. What do we need to know? What are the energies surrounding us on the weekend of October 27th through October 29th, 2017? Please show us some messages for the weekend of October 27th through October 29th. Cards flipping. One more card. Okay. Okay, and let me just pull the additional card. So Spirit, one additional message for the weekend of Friday, October 27th through Sunday, October 29th. What additional message do we need to know for the weekend of Friday, October 27th through Sunday, October 29th? Okay. All right, so the cards that we have, our first card is the Six of Swords, followed by the Seven of Swords, and the last card is the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, and the Oracle card is Island, Solitude. Okay, so let me just position the cards so that you can see them a little better, and then we'll get into the meaning of the reading. Be back in 1 second. All right, so we have as the first card, so this is the energy leaving the week, right, heading into the weekend, so around Friday, beginning of the weekend, we have the Six of Swords. Now, typically, the Six of Swords is a card that has to do with moving away from one situation that is no longer serving us, right, into maybe a more tumultuous relationship or situation, into a more, into a calmer, a better place for us, right? On the traditional Rider-Waite deck, it pictures the woman sitting in the boat, right, with the child, and she has her back turned, and she's sort of She's sailing out of the troubled waters, the choppy waters, into calmer waters. This deck, it labels it science, so it is a little bit different. We know obviously that the swords suit in the tarot, it has to do with our thoughts, so mental energy. That's why most of the people there are depicted in the clouds, right? This is sort of all up in our minds, right? Up in the air. Cerebral energy, so things that we think, right? And knowing also that thoughts are very powerful, because what we think, we become, correct? And with the Six of Swords, this card is called Science, right? And in this particular deck, it's a card that speaks of curiosity, an objective mind, a rational mind, the ability to think analytically, the ability to consider all of the information, right? Possibly before moving away, moving on. So this might be sort of what you have been dealing with throughout the week, and what you have as the energy as you enter the weekend, okay? What you have in the middle of the weekend, is the Seven of Swords. So obviously the card that comes immediately after the Six of Swords in the tarot deck. And this card, it's not the best of cards, right? Because sometimes it's known as the Thief card. It's the energy where somebody has done something, maybe out of betrayal, tried to deceive you, right? In the traditional Rider-Waite deck, it depicts the man. He's sort of stealing away in the middle of the night with the sword. So somebody betraying you, but feeling as if they have gotten away with doing something, right? If this is you taking on this energy, this could be you just feeling as if you have gotten away with doing something, but it doesn't necessarily have to do, or it doesn't have to be, that bad as if you're betraying somebody. It could be as simple as you're looking for another job and you're, having to keep it under wraps, and you can't let people know about you applying for other positions right now, because that might jeopardize in some way your position where you currently are working. So it could be that, where you're keeping things very, you're acting a little sort of in secret, doing things behind other people's backs, but trying to manifest your dreams, right? It can also have to do with not wanting to face a particular situation. So, it kind of indicates that you might be tempted to just sneak away. So if this is with the Six of Swords, you moving away, it could be cautioning you that maybe that, it's not the best way to handle it, right? Instead of dealing with whatever the situation is head on and, really sort of resolving it, you're trying to sneak away and move away without taking care of it. So it could be a cautionary type of energy, just saying, don't run away from commitment, don't run away from facing something that needs to be dealt with, right? But in this deck, again, it does have a slightly different meaning. It has to do with more about negative thinking, right? Thinking reckless thoughts, sort of self-deception. So maybe even trying to, not seeing a situation clearly for what it really is, right? So it's again all about thoughts, and and how you handle the situation based on your thoughts about the situation, right? And so I take it more as cautionary energy here, as opposed to somebody doing something to you. I feel it's telling you that you need to kind of think about this, right, during the weekend. And what we have as the outbound energy is the Queen of Pentacles. Now, this is a very nice energy to have, right? The Queen, she's a very motherly card, right? Kind of the ultimate mother, the Earth Mother, because she's Pentacles, so this is Earth energy. So she's very grounded. She's very loving. She's warm. She cares for people, and generally shows her love for others, by taking care of others. So by cooking for them, by, making sure that the house is nice so that they can come home to her. Is that type of energy. She's somebody who's very stable, who is very nurturing, very loving. She might be, again, with the court cards, they can manifest as people in our lives. If it is, this would be an older earth sign female, typically. So this would be an older Virgo or Taurus or Capricorn woman. Doesn't necessarily have to be, right? Doesn't need to be gender specific. But, or this could be just the energy that you are taking on, right? It's interesting because we see that on all three cards, we have one figure. We have the one figure sort of staring here and watching the swords have sort of formed this wheel, which when we think about them, moving away, they're kind of focused on that. Here, the person is looking very down, right? Focused on all of these negative thoughts going on, whatever this negative situation is. And here we have the Queen again by herself. And, the overall guidance card that we had for the weekend is solitude, island. So it's interesting that they all three of the figures appear alone. Now, the Queen of Pentacles, she is somebody, she's very independent, right? She is somebody who's very financially stable. She represents prosperity. She obviously, to become a queen, she has worked very hard, worked long and hard to get where she is, and she is very stable. She's a stable character, right? She's and she's also somebody who she has a lot of abundance in her life, and she also knows how to manifest and how to attract abundance, right? She has the tools in order to attract abundance into her life. So with this as the outbound energy, it feels like whatever this is, if this does have to do with a job, right, and moving away from one job, worrying for whatever reason that, you're keeping things quiet, not letting on about what's going on. I mean, it does show me here that there is some type of financial stability coming in, right? So this could be you just, by the end of the weekend, feeling more financially stable, kind of coming to terms with whatever you have been worrying about, maybe even unnecessarily, and feeling much more financially stable and secure. So she is definitely somebody who is, she's prosperous, but she's also very empathetic, right? She's many times she appears as, as a teacher, a counselor, somebody who guides, but also does, she does it in a very loving, sort of motherly type of way. So, this might be somebody that you will deal with over the weekend, or this could be just you taking on this energy, right? And feeling very self-sufficient and prosperous. And again, with this element of loneliness, right, of being in solitude here, I'm just going to read from the guidebook for this oracle card. I'll only read part of the description because it's quite long. So it says here that you need to take some time for solitude, preferably in silence. Spend the morning, afternoon, or even the entire day by yourself, completely unplanned and unstructured. The bombardment of your senses by the noise and intensity of society leaves you on alert far more than is necessary. The vibration of millions of people's worry and fear throughout the world can impinge upon you and greatly affect you if you do not honor your need to pull back from time to time. When you have passed through any self-constructed barriers to enjoy the quiet peace of solitude, it will serve you best if you simply observe the thoughts and emotions that pass through you, especially those that cause shortness of breath or a quickening heartbeat. Remember that isolation is experienced not by choice, but out of fear. When you decide to spend time with yourself in solitude, however, you are choosing to once again find and connect with who you really are. So maybe this, it does feel sort of temporary. I feel like this, whatever's going on here, there's movement, right? There's a choice and movement away from something. And it does feel temporary. It feels as if you're moving into this time of greater prosperity, right? But it might be necessary for you to take this time out, as we see here. Take this time to really reflect on what is going on in order to make the best decision, but know that, the outcome here is, there's great prosperity on the horizon. So, a little challenging with these two cards, but I think that overall, this is a good message for the weekend. So I do hope that the message has helped you in some way. I look forward to reading for you again. Please check out my channel for additional readings. I offer daily tarot snapshots, this weekend extended weekend reading. I have weekly readings. I do a mid-monthly reading focusing on relationships and finances. And then I do the monthly general readings for all the signs, which is a longer Celtic cross spread, sort of focusing on the overall energies of the month for each of the astrological signs. So take care and know that I'm sending you much peace, love, and light. Bye.